In a small town of Mississippi, fear grew as police started finding dead bodies. So they thought it'd take help of an expert unaware he is not what he portrays to be. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me.
Here I become power.
Our story starts with Detective Lucas Boyd in Mississippi. Not long ago, Boyd lost his daughter in a drowning accident, and he's still struggling with that tragedy. He's with his partner, Detective Kirsch, heading to arrest a guy reported for assault. When they storm the apartment, they find a young, terrified girl.
She's mine.
Don't talk to her.
Boyd gently reassures her, and she finally lets her guard down. He hands her over to Kirsch while he moves in to arrest the suspect, who tries to grab a gun. Boyd reacts quickly, shooting him before he can do any harm. Next,
You first.
the scene shifts to Rome, where Inspector Mario and his team are on the trail of a killer named Randu, who's notorious for ritual murders. Randu's a quick, skilled opponent and slips away from the police, leading Mario into a chase. Just when Mario catches up, a fight breaks out. Randu is about to finish him off when another inspector steps in, but sadly, he ends up getting killed instead. Realizing he's outnumbered, Randu escapes before more officers arrive. Later, Randa meets Mr. Ferrer, a businessman who wants to hire him. Ferrer is looking to gain power and insight for his business, so Randa hands him his card, offering his services. Back in Mississippi, Boyd is at home, haunted by memories of trying and failing to save his daughter. Meanwhile, Mr. Ferrer and Randu arrive in town. After a few days, Ferrer reaches out to Randu to set their plan in motion. Randa heads to a park, eyeing a young girl he plans to kidnap.
Let's move forward.
Soon, Boyd and Kirsch discover her body by a river. She's been brutally mutilated. Her eyes are gone, her hand is cut off, and her body dumped in the water.
Oh, fuck.
The autopsy reveals signs of hanging, making it clear she endured severe abuse before her death. Boyd informs his captain that he wants to work on this case, but the captain dismisses it, advising him to focus on cases with clearer leads. Boyd refuses to let it go and decides to dig deeper. At a basketball court days later, a young boy is walking home after his big brother urges him to leave before it gets too dark. As he heads out, Randa pulls up in a van and abducts him. That night, Randa brings the boy to a creepy, abandoned building in the woods. He ties him up, chanting over candles and strange objects. After completing his ritual, he kills the boy. The next day, police discover another body, a middle-aged man who'd gone fishing but was found dead by the riverside. Boyd and Kirsch investigate and find disturbing evidence in the abandoned building, including bones, candles, and blood-scrawled incantations on the walls. Boyd takes photos and sends them for analysis. The doctor examining the case tells Boyd the killer is highly skilled, having cleanly sliced through the victims' bodies. He shows Boyd various items from the crime scene, including powdered gold and exotic herbs, one of which is called rooibos and originates from Africa. Boyd consults Mr. Mackles, an African studies professor from South Africa, who immediately reacts to the strong scent of the herbs. Although hesitant, Mackles tells Boyd they're just basic tree roots and herbal concoctions. Boyd presses further, showing Mackles the writings on the wall and asking for help to interpret them. Uncomfortable, Mackles apologizes and leaves. Meanwhile, back in Rome, Mario is still searching for Randu. He visits a market where Africans sell goods, hoping for leads. When he shows a man a picture of Randu and explains the horrific crimes, the man warns Mario that Randu is a powerful witch doctor serving wealthy clients, and that Mario might be his next target. Back in Mississippi, Boyd remains skeptical of Mackles and decides to pay him another visit, hoping he'll reveal more about the mysterious writings on the wall. Detective Boyd takes Mr. Mackles to the abandoned building where the boy was killed. Mackles looks at the strange symbols and explains they're in Swahili. He translates it to mean, "Here I take the power, here I become the power."
Here I take the power.
He tells Boyd that Randu is a Senga, a kind of medicine man, just like Inspector Mario was warned about. This medicine, as Mackles calls it, is dark and twisted. He compares it to how some pharmaceutical companies use stem cells from aborted fetuses to create vaccines. But here, it's all about performing rituals to gain power. Businessmen, politicians, and other powerful people pay for it, seeking success, protection, or insight. They continue talking over dinner, where Mackles explains that different body parts have specific powers in these rituals. genitals bring good luck, eyes give you better vision, and the brain offers knowledge and political power. Boyd's starting to realize that the two bodies they found were just a part of Randu preparing for something bigger. Later, Mr. Farrer contacts Randu again, this time requesting a girl, one with beautiful eyes, intelligence, and potential. Randu goes to a bar and strikes up a conversation with a bartender. He's impressed by her looks and intelligence and decides she's exactly what Mr. Farrer wants. Meanwhile, two officers pull over a van that was reported stolen a while ago. They head into the bar to question the staff. But before they can do much, Randu slashes their throats and flees, leaving the girl behind.
We have 2 officers down.
The officers hear about the murders and rush to the scene. Randu watches them from a nearby building. The bartender gives a description of him to Detective Boyd, and they quickly take fingerprints. On their way out, a woman mentions she's seen a tall black man going in and out of the building for days. Boyd realizes it's probably Randu and leads his team there. They break into a room where Randu's been setting up for another ritual, but as they search, Boyd hears someone running through the fire escape. They catch up to him, but Randu kills one of the officers and continues his escape, narrowly dodging Boyd's bullets. Boyd goes back inside to find his partner, Kirsch, bleeding. He rushes her to the hospital. The next day, Boyd takes Mackles to the building, but there's nothing new. At the station, they find that a man named Rico has been dead for 6 years. Someone with high connections could have made that happen. Boyd then gets a card from Randu's apartment and calls it, hoping to get more information. Inspector Mario fills him in on Randu's past killings all over Europe and reveals that Randu works for Mr. Farrer. After the call, Boyd goes to Mr. Farrer's house and threatens to kill him if he touches another kid. Meanwhile, Randu visits Mr. Mackles and threatens him, warning him not to help Boyd anymore. Mackles tells Boyd about the threat and asks him to come pick him up. Randu, in the meantime, spots another girl at a school and kidnaps her. He takes her to Mr. Farrer, who likes her because she's smart, athletic, and beautiful. He promises to give her a scholarship and asks Randu to prepare her for a surprise. Not long after, the girl goes missing, and Boyd knows it's Randu's doing. They rush to find him, and Mackles suggests they check out a warehouse near a water body that Farrer owns. When they arrive, Boyd heads inside alone, where he interrupts one of Randu's rituals.
Drop the fucking knife!
He demands Randu drop his knife, but just then, Farrer appears and strikes Boyd down. Mackles shows up and slashes Farrer's throat. Randu, furious, goes after Mackles, choking him, but Mackles stabs him twice and escapes. Randu hears the sirens and runs off. Mackles also slips away before the police arrive. After a while, Mario calls Boyd with more information. 9 months ago, Randu was attending a lecture in Rome with a professor named Mackles.
College professor by the name of Mackles.
Boyd visits his partner at the hospital, and the doctor mentions that a woman who matches Mackles' description visited Kirsch the night before. She said Mackles prayed over her and told her she would be fine. Boyd tries to contact Mackles, but he's unreachable. A few days later, Boyd visits his daughter's grave, leaving flowers. When he gets home, he finds a package at his door. Inside is a note from Mackles, saying he's got him, referring to Randu. The package contains the eyes of Rico. Without wasting a moment, Boyd swallows the eyes, probably hoping to gain the farsightedness Mackles mentioned.